Country Day School, starting with Maddie Lamacchia.
Tell them our mics aren't on.
IHTN Sports.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tomahawk Stadium. I'm Rob Young with Mike Frulin, bringing you tonight's action, where the Indian Hill Braves will be taking on the Summit Country Day Knights. As we do the player introductions, the Lady Braves are loaded this year with talent. Led by senior Ellie Rabenol, junior Joria Alf, both of them committed players. Ellie not only is a great lacrosse player, but she's a smart gal too. She's going to MIT, Mike.
That's what I said. They don't let you into MIT because you're a good lacrosse player, Rob.
It does help you, though.
That might be an exception. That might be the only place that they don't let you in because you're a good lacrosse player. That's an impressive thing. First Indian Hill student to ever go to MIT.
Is it?
Yep.
Good luck to both teams.
So this is our first broadcast of the lacrosse season here on the IHTN network. Again, I'm Rob Young with Mike Frulin. Or am I Mike Frulin with Rob Young?
No, I think you're Rob.
The girls' game is a little different than the boys' game. The girls' game plays two 25-minute halves. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by our Indian Hill Foundation that graciously helps us support this, along with the volunteer students who are running cameras, Mr. Dennis Dupps, and a laundry list of sponsors that will go through as the season goes and as the evening goes. So, Mike, what are some of the keys to the Braves' success tonight?
I would say that Ellie is a key to the Braves, and just as she's probably a key for Summit as well.
And the boys,
she's got to be the key to every game this year. She's everybody's game planning against her, and I'm sure that our offense is geared around her. But we do have other very talented girls on the team, but Ellie's one of those special cases that you really have to plan to be able to have a chance to stop her. Is Ellie taking the draw here? Looks like it. I can't see the guy in the stripes. Yes,
it is Ellie taking the draw. So Ellie Rabin will take the draw for the Lady Braves, and Wentz and Price, it looks like. Wentz and Alf are her wingmen. Braves control the draw and move into their offensive end of the field.
Reagan
quickly
Wentz
moving down, taking
up to Jory Alf. Reagan Wentz also is committed, Rob. She's going to Colorado Mesa.
Yes, not Ohio Mesa, by the way.
Colorado Mesa. Very, very good lacrosse school.
So Ellie Ravenel with the ball at the top of the arc. She dodges in.
Draws a double. That's Ellie with the ball now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Ellie with the ball now. Sorry.
Who was that?
Number 15 was Bridget Schumacher.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to.
So it's a little early in the season as Mike and I get used to the girls' game again. For those of you that are not aware, Mike has a son that is a senior here at Indian Hill who is a committed player to Tampa. Next season, he'll continue his lacrosse career and his academics at the University of Tampa in the wonderful Tampa Bay downtown metropolitan area. Gorgeous, gorgeous campus.
Weather's not bad either.
Yeah, Florida lacrosse is much better than Northeast lacrosse. By the way, we have already mentioned Ellie.
Ellie on the dodge on the alley and a score.
Shoots and scores unassisted.
Goal. Ellie
Looks like the boys are getting here for practice. Coach McKay gave them an early practice tonight so they can come to the game. I see them trickling in. It's always good to see the boys come and support the girls.
So tonight's weather is a little brisk. It's warm. It's nice lacrosse weather, but it is very windy up here tonight. As we bring you the game from Tomahawk's Bird Nest. So Ellie will take the draw. Again, you've got Jory Alf on the far side.
It's like Ellie's switching it up, and she's backhanded in the draw this time. It's changing from what she did the first time. It's another difference between the boys' game and the girls' game. The draw controls from a standing position, and Summit takes
possession and comes into their offensive end, passes the ball and turns it quickly over to the Braves, who will take it over for the clear.
And an errant pass to out top, and Summit comes up with it.
So the Braves come into tonight's game with a win over Anderson on Tuesday night, I believe it was, Mike.
That was earlier this week. I'm not sure which night it was.
And it was a great win. It was a 20-10 victory for the Braves. Last night, the Brave boys had their first game after the break.
Indian Hill, and they quickly go on the offensive, and up the sideline they go.
Schumacher with the ball, quickly coming up to the offensive end. She has.
Oh, she's going all the way.
She's going all the way.
Holy cow. Oh, and a great save by the goalie. Maddie Miller swings it back around the back to Ellie. Ellie's got it at the X. And she's going to
Ellie with a shot and a score, unassisted dodging from your right side to left.
She can shoot with both hands. She can shoot nearly as hard as the boys, and she's hard to stop. She's very difficult to stop, and they're going to have to get some help on the inside, some slides or some doubles if they want to stop that, because I don't know anybody that can stay in front of her.
Rabinol with the draw again. Off in her wings, Jory Alf again. And what number is that, Mike? Young lady over here on this side.
Ours? I can't see the numbers.
On the circle. I believe it's number 8, Morgan Yamaguchi.
Oh, that would be, if it's 8, that's Morgan. Oh.
Can't see the number, though. Nope, it's number 18.
It's
Maddie Miller.
And she takes the ball and comes up the middle.
Another
She's
draw.
Off the races. Nice pick by Ellie. Oh, got the ball checked away.
Miller drops the ball, picked up quickly by number 11,
Maddie Major. Jory Alf going down the alley. Passes it back to X. And a whistle. First whistle we've heard, Rob.
Not sure what was called there.
It's Cameron Rabinold, Ellie's younger sister, with the ball there. Pass to Jory Alf. Jory's going to the middle, across the middle, and doesn't pull the trigger. Kicks it. Ellie's going to come across. She won't miss that one.
Shot scored.
Hat trick for Ellie.
Another goal,
I think
Ellie
Jory had the same
Rabinold.
shot, but she didn't pull the string on that one.
So the Braves are quickly up in the first 5 minutes of this game, 3-0. Like I said, the Braves
Just
come
what
in
we
off.
said. What's the key to the game? Ellie. Fooling up the steps to join his teammates.
Looks like some of the Summit boys players are here as well.
Possession, Summit.
Draw controlled by Summit's number 4, Anna Claire
right up the middle.
Bristow. Brings it back out to the top of the arc.
Defense collapsed nicely to stop that. That was it.
That's going to be a whistle on the Braves. That'll be a free start for Summit
Number
from the
5,
7-meter.
Sydney Black with the ball.
Nice
Oh,
save
good
by the
save.
keeper.
Lindbergh with the save.
Another whistle. I didn't hear what the call was, but
It's a great save by number 35 for the Braves. This year's keeper, filling the shoes of Emily Anderson, is Maria Lindbergh. I'm sorry. Another save by Lindbergh.
that's huge. Oh, then she throws it clear out of bounds. But
Actually, she got the clear out to her defense player on the wing, who ended up throwing it quickly up.
it wasn't the goalie clear that went out.
No,
It was
she-
a quick.
It rebounded off her
Okay.
stick, and
Good defense.
Asball.
Good defense. That's
Osball, I think, is the one that recovered the ground ball.
okay. I don't see Wes. Let's see, where is she? That's Wesley. I think number 31, isn't it? Yes. Wesley's on the crease.
So Summit with 2 great shots on goal, but the keeper denies them as they come back in. Another shot. This time it goes over the top side of her shoulder, and we now have a 3-1 game with 18:26 left here in the first half.
Yeah, Summit's had a couple of opportunities, all on nice dodges in the middle, and a couple of very, very nice saves. And eventually, those are going to go in.
So a common thread that you'll hear about the girls and the boys that's very similar. Both these teams play at a high level for Division II, so most of their schedule is going to be against Division I teams. Their first 2 games of the season were against Worthington Kilbourne, the state runner-up last year at Division I, and Loveland, a regional runner-up last year for Division I, and then they played Anderson, another Division I team, and won there. They lost 15-12 to Kilbourne early in the season before spring break, and 12-9 to Loveland. And then, like I said, on Tuesday night they played Anderson and beat them 20-10.
So this is their first Division II matchup.
Correct.
Here comes Summit up the middle again.
And unlike football, basketball, soccer, where it is a CHL sanctioned sport, this is a state sanctioned sport. We're going to have another penalty called on the Braves. This will give them a free shot from the 7. That's Annie Dorn for Summit that will be taking that shot. See if Marie can have another big save. And this time,
nice shot. Just
right through the
dumped it
5-hole.
down right the 5-hole.
So quickly, it's a 3-2 game. Braves are still up. And just like the boys' game, it's about possession. It's about control. If you can control the draw, you get an extra opportunity basically to score. Summit's controlled the last 2 draws. They've scored. The first 3 draws were controlled by the Braves, and they scored. So
it is a game of runs. I mean,
absolutely.
It always is. It seems like when you get hot and you get going, and you can make up some ground quickly in this game.
Well, over spring break, we were watching a college game, and at the end of the first quarter, the home team Florida Tech was down 10-0.
Wow.
They came back to win the game 17-16.
Shit.
So Lacrosse is.
Oh.
Summit wins the draw.
Quick start there. Summit's got some fast girls. Another whistle. Indian Hills
Another free shot.
Themselves in trouble with all these fouls.
Taking the free shot is Sydney Black for Summit.
She scores. We're all tied up.
Yeah, we're now tied up 3-3 with 16:58 to go.
Goal by Summit's Sydney Black.
So the Braves, who won the first sanctioned state championship
Right.
2 years ago, and then last year had a good season, didn't make it as far. They lost in the regional final to the eventual state champion, Marymount, who they play next on Thursday the 11th at 7 p.m. right here at Tomahawk Stadium.
Which will be followed by the boys playing Marymount Friday right here at Tomahawk Stadium. Which
Exactly.
is always a big game to look forward to. Yeah, that first sanctioned state tournament was pretty impressive for Southwest Ohio. Of the 4 champions, 3 of the schools are within about 5 miles of us right now. Moeller won the boys D1, Marymount won the boys D2, and Indian Hill won the girls D2. Upper Arlington was the only non-Cincinnati school to win the state championship last year in the girls D1 division. Oh, nice feed from
Ellie to Joriel.
That was a great look.
So like you said at the beginning, what's the key to the success?
It starts with Ellie, and it usually finishes with Ellie, but there's an example that she's got some weapons around her, so it's not. It's clearly not a one-person team. We've got a lot of people around Ellie, but I think it's safe to say she's the key factor.
To give you an idea, 3 players had hat tricks on Tuesday for the Braves. You could technically say Ellie had a double hat trick. She had 7 goals of the 20. And as you'll notice, this Braves team is fast. They're fast.
I think this might be, from what I've seen so far, I think Summit may have as fast a girls in the open field as they're going to see this year, because, and here she goes again. She just outrunning the midfield right to the center, and another one of those whistles, Rob.
Yeah, and to give you an idea
in the girls' game, the boys' game.
Yeah, to give you an idea how impressive Ellie Rabinal is, single season records held by Ellie Rabinal. Most goals in a season.
Just the ones that she doesn't own, Rob. It'd be a lot shorter.
That is true. 94. Most assists.
Oh, another goal. We're tied up again, 4-4.
Sydney Black for their second goal of the game.
Penalties are hurting the Braves tonight.
Now I'm going to change what I said. What's the key to the game?
Clean
Play
lacrosse.
clean.
Yeah.
Because 3 of the 4 goals Summit has are all on penalties. And if we eliminate those, I don't think you'd see what we're seeing right now.
I think it's his voice is just fading. But when you look at season records on this team, you've got Ellie with the most goals, Ellie with the most assists, and she actually has first and second place. Last year, first place 2017 when they won the state championship, second place. Most points in a season, Ellie holds first and is tied for fourth in that category. Most career goals, Ellie Rabinol with 201 goals. And Reagan Wentz is in 10th place with 65 goals. Most assists is Ellie Rabinold. And Reagan Wentz is in 9th place with 38 assists.
That's not true.
Now, who's on third? Most points in a career, Ellie Rabinol. Reagan Wentz with 103. So those are your top career and season records. This team, has 1, 2, 3 committed collegiate players. They have 3 freshmen starting on this team, so a little bit of a young team this year compared to their 2017 squad. But the seniors that they do have on this team, from Ellie Rabinold and Reagan Wentz, both very strong. You've got Maddie Miller,
Yamaguchi,
Leslie
Elspa,
who have all been 4-year starters.
Very strong senior class. As is the boys. So, Indian Hill has a very strong 2019 class, kind of across the board, I think.
Yeah, they're deep in talent, lots of coverage at all positions on the field. To give you an idea, their keeper this year is a sophomore. So Maria Lindberg had to fill in last year a couple games for Emily Anderson, who sustained a concussion. And just to give you an idea, Emily Anderson was an all district player, and I believe a second team all-state last year as a goalkeeper. Rabinold with the draw and the control as she quickly comes up the field. And what you'll notice with this team is they have incredible stick skill.
That's Reagan Wentz going down the alley. She carries it on through, takes it back to X.
Looking for a cutter as she swings around,
Back
dishes
around,
it.
nice feed. Oh, and Jory just misses it.
Just a bit outside.
They gave that to Summit.
I wonder if they called her for in the crease.
Something, because it didn't, it was close, but it's too early in the season to start criticizing the officiating. That usually comes about week 5.
Coach Parlin is in her first season as a Indian Hill Braves head coach, but she has 15 years of coaching experience. She was an All-American at Denison University, a team captain on that team, I think 3 years if I remember correctly. So she brings a lot of experience, has coached both at the collegiate and high school level.
I believe she coached here in the youth program for a number of years.
And as the season goes, we'll make sure that we learn more about this coaching staff and bring you more. An unusual occurrence in the girls' game. We actually have somebody in the penalty box.
Time-serving penalty.
And that was for that penalty is going to be on number 7, Memory Harness, who's one of the starting freshmen. I think she just swung her stick a little low and got the girl in the leg.
Yeah, the official made a very animated gesture. It looked like a big hatchet chop, but I didn't see it. So another whistle.
That one's on number 31, Wesley Alspaugh. Be a free shot for Summit from the 7-meter. Shot, goal, and Summit goes up with 14 minutes left in this first half, 5-4. Now, what I don't know, Mike, and we'll have to educate ourselves with the season, I believe penalties on the girls' sides are not released on a goal.
Apparently not. She's still kneeling down.
And they serve the full time.
Yes.
And I think the minimum that you serve is 2 minutes. So we'll
is
see
that
here.
Right?
I think if it's 2 minutes, if it's a minute, she's only got about 30 seconds left. If it's 2 minutes, she's got about a minute 30 left. So we'll see when she gets released. Summit controls the draw as the Braves continue to play defensively. Great defense.
In the goal. She dodges and then redodges. Indian Hill did a nice job of stopping her in the middle there, and she spun it back out and then just turned and went right back at it again and found a crease and popped it in the goal. So Summit's now up 6-4. That was only their second goal that was not on a free shot.
And the senior defensemen, Lexi Magenheim and Wesley Oswald, quickly call the defensive players together, get them regrouped. It's 6-4. Like you said, Mike, it's a game of runs. Quickly, a 20-point game is not unusual in girls lacrosse, especially nowadays where, you go back 3 years ago, even at the high school level, the girls could literally, there was no shot clock, there was no delay of game calls. A girl could literally take the ball, hold it in her stick, and go stand in the corner and guard the ball and never have to turn the ball over. And coaches would use that to their advantage in tight games, be up by a goal. They'd go and just stall the game like old basketball.
Yep. Digger Phelps. Basketball. Notre Dame used to do that. They'd win games 10-8 in a college basketball game.
Very boring game.
Yes.
This girls' game has gotten really exciting with some of the changes.
It has. The
rules.
Shot clock in the girls' game has been. Not clear what that call was either, Rob.
I think they got into the sphere, as they call it. If you think of a sphere coming straight up off the girl's shoulders, straight up into the air, if a defenseman brings her stick into that sphere, then it'll be called a technical penalty, and we're all even now. So it was a 3-minute penalty, Mike.
Seems like it was. That was. Ellie goes back to her sister. Just over the top of the cage. That was a nice feed. She tried to go to her earlier, and it covered up, and Cameron got open again, and Ellie hit her on the feed. There's another beautiful feed and another save by the goalie.
Braves fighting for the ground ball.
And
Picked
away
up
they go.
quickly by Summit. And this girl's got gas
Sydney
in her
Black
legs.
is very fast.
As she pulls away from all the Braves defenders, goes straight up. That was a good call on the official. Fans didn't like it, but kind of like in basketball. When you bring that stick down and run right into the player, you're going to get called for that. So it's a free shot for the Summit, and it's Black taking the shot. Another
goal.
score. So it's
7-4, Rob.
Sydney Black with the goal. Summit 7, Indian Hill 4.
And again, that's their 5th goal off of a foul. So I think we've got to find a way to stop their attacking nature, because they're coming down the field at full speed, and the only way our girls are finding to stop them is to commit a foul. So we're going to have to work on that at halftime and figure out how to.
So those of you that are listening on the IHTN1 Network Live, our next home game will be broadcast on the 8th. It'll be the boys versus Loveland here at Tomahawk Stadium at 7 p.m. on April 8th. So we got 11:36 left. And
great grab by Jory Elf off the draw.
Jory Elf quickly comes up the field.
Oh, and she rolls to the inside, and she won't pull the trigger from there.
She's going to get...
Hey, we got a call in our favor this time. Let's see what happens. See if we can...
Jory will continue her lacrosse career after Indian Hill, which she's only a junior, at Rollins.
Oh, off cage. It's going to stay with Indian Hill, though.
Nice save by Summit's goalie.
Maybe that was a save, Rob. I thought that was off.
I thought it was off
the
cage.
mark.
I did too, but the stadium announcer called it a save. So
They call everything a save, though. It's just easier.
Ball out to number
Reagan
9.
Wentz out on the wing. Cuts to the middle. Goes to the middle. Oh.
Nice bounce shot that goes off the mark.
Here comes Sydney Black again.
And Ellie Rabinal cuts her off and forces her to go backwards.
Nice clear at Summit. They're coming up the field. Here they come.
And they've got numbers, and that's quickly knocked down by...
The scrum for the ball.
That ball was knocked down by number 9, Hannah Zanvakili.
Ellie Rabinal's got the ball at the defensive end, and she's coming up the side. I think she's just going to clear it herself, it looks like. All the way back to, Wes Elspa fights for the loose ball. And
gets awarded the ball. Quickly gets it up to number 14. The other Rabinal.
Cameron Rabinal. She comes over to Reagan Wentz, who takes the ball. Again from the wing, dodges to the middle, kicks it back out to Ellie. Another feed from Ellie. Couldn't quite hold on to the pass.
Summit picks up the ground ball. That's number 24 for Summit. Quickly getting turned around by Ellie. And Ellie gets called for. And the official, Stacy Moritz, quickly tells the boys to keep the noise down.
That's not going to work. In fact, that's the worst thing that you could do to a bunch of 18-year-old boys sitting in the stands rooting on their girls' team.
Yeah, but the next game she comes officiates, she may have the Bengals offensive line to do crowd control for. Her husband is the strength coach for the Bengals, has been for 20-plus years now.
Well, she'll need him because that tactic will not work with that group of boys.
No.
Pretty sure.
They are respectful. She asked them to tone it down. They'll probably tone it down for at least 3 minutes.
This possession, let's be honest. They didn't like the call. Okay, Summit's setting up their offense. This is kind of the first time we've seen them run a set offense. They've been very fast break, and their goals have been on another. Boy, oh boy. I'm pretty sure she called that on the boys. That's what she did. She called a penalty on our boys.
No, that came from the other official, actually. Well, they're setting up because the ball. So the penalty always starts from the side that the ball was on when it was called. I think they called Jorial for the stick check.
Yeah.
Kind of what would be
For the goal. We're at 8-4, Rob.
Well, and what's funny is 6 of their 8 goals have come off of free shots.
Right.
So the Braves are a little out of sorts here. Let's see if we can find Summit's record.
See Dave Weiler's in the house watching the girls. He's got a whole slew of boys on the boys team. About every other guy on the boys team is named Weiler.
I remember those days.
He's got, Rob Young. He had a whole slew of boys named Young on the team at one point in time. He's got a freshman, a junior, and a senior. And I think they all got in the game yesterday in the varsity game.
They did.
If you talk to the freshman, Cooper Weiler, he'll tell you he's the best of the Weilers.
I would
and
not.
He might be right.
He is the best athlete out of the Weiler clan. I will tell you that.
He's.
I've been watching Coop since he was in kindergarten.
Yeah, I saw him a few years ago in the. I don't know if it was middle school or if it was younger than that. They were playing with some summer team, and there's a little guy with a big D-pole running around on the field, and I was very impressed with his athleticism. And I asked somebody who that was. They said that's the youngest Weiler.
So that's a sphere violation on Wesley, who will come out to the 10-meter. The free shot will be from the 7-meter by number 2. That is Abby Lamachia. So, Mike, I've got a great restaurant for you to go to next year when you go down to Tampa to watch Wyatt play.
Okay.
For those that you don't know, Mike's son Wyatt is committed to Tampa University Spartans to play lacrosse, a D2 perennial powerhouse out of the Sunshine Conference. You have to go to Ybor City.
I'm already a big fan of Ybor City.
Have you been to the Columbia?
I've not been there for dinner. We were there, kind of another goal. That was a quick goal on a intercepted pass from the goalie, and it's turned around and popped it in. We're now at 9-4. This game's getting a little cockeyed, Rob. But yeah, Ybor. I'm planning on spending a lot of time in Ybor City. There's a lot of. I've been to the Columbia, but not the one that's in Tampa. I've been to the one that's in Sarasota. There's also another.
They have 7 restaurants.
Yeah,
but
I've been to the Columbia in Sarasota.
The original is in Ybor City. It's 115 years old.
It's an
generation.
Absolutely beautiful little cultural district outside of Tampa.
The largest Spanish restaurant in North America, and the oldest restaurant in Florida. It seats 1,700 people. You know, we have the Montgomery Inn, which is big, and obviously the boathouse is huge, and it's that kind of lore behind that restaurant. But a great place to eat, great city to play lacrosse in. Obviously, the only thing Wyatt will have to worry about is some sand in the eyes every once in a while, but he won't have to worry about snow.
I wouldn't think so. They don't get a lot of that.
They may get flurries every once in a while.
Okay, here's Ellie coming up the middle. I think she's probably going to go to the cage here. She does, and is stopped, but they retain the shot. Should. Boy.
Mrs. Moritz has got the whistle in her mouth tonight and has been very active at calling those physical fouls.
She acts them out. It's kind of nice. We know exactly what happened because she.
Another stick penalty.
This should be a goal, I would guess. Ellie's not going to let this go. And it is.
And we're quickly to a 5-9 game with 4:57 to go. So I think that gives Ellie her hat
Don't
trick.
forget to stop
No,
at
that's
the
her fourth,
penalty.
actually.
that her fourth? She
had
got
her
4 of the
third one
goals?
very early in the game. That is Indian Hill's first goal off of a foul, though. The rest of our goals have been in open field play.
So, you were talking about, the Weilers and the Youngs, who lots of boys in the, we don't have, Weilers and us don't have any girls. But kind of the dynasty of Indian Hill girls lacrosse from a family perspective, Ravenels with 2.
Yes.
The McMillans have their 3rd child playing, well, their 4th child, but their 3rd girl playing lacrosse here at Indian Hill. She's a freshman.
Oh, nice pickup by Reagan and knocked away.
One of the starter freshmen.
Possession Braves.
Okay, back to Ellie in the middle. I think, look at Jory. Oh, Ellie says, no, I'm going to go myself here. She spins it back out, thinks better of it.
Her older sister played college lacrosse, and her older brother was an All-American goalie for the Braves.
Okay. Oh, that McMillan.
That McMillan. You didn't know that they had 4 kids, did you?
Nice goal by Jory Alf coming across the middle.
So, as you mentioned, the Weilers, lots of boy players and in the high school ranks, and obviously myself, I've been around the high school ranks now for 6 years, with my 4th son playing in his junior year. Of course, Josh, when he did his visit at Tampa, had a great time, and he said, Dad, can I stay? The ex-ambassadors are playing on campus next week. I said, I think you got to get back and play lacrosse for Indian Hill, and you have classes.
Oh,
but
classes.
he was ready to forgo high school and go straight to college.
Okay. I think he's going to be happy that he stayed this season.
So Summit's controlled the draw again.
Summit on the draw.
There's going to be another foul on Morgan Yamaguchi coming across the middle, and she's going to the sideline again, Rob.
So the Braves are going to play Braves will play down a player with 4:12 left here. We'll find out how long these penalties are.
Yeah, 4:12.
Actually,
Let's watch that. Looked like she came across and got a little bit high with her check. Another goal by Sydney Black. Yet another penalty goal. Someone's very good with their man up.
And again, you don't see a lot of penalty box penalties. I'll never forget the first time I listened to a college lacrosse game out of Florida.
Yeah.
The announcer obviously was more of a baseball, football, soccer announcer, was doing the lacrosse game, and he called it the knee down.
The kneel down. Then the knee down.
I still laugh about that. So taking the draw again is Ellie. You've got Reagan Wentz on the near side, and you got Jory Alf on the other side of the circle. Ellie pops it up, and it's going to be Black with the control.
Sydney Black with the ground ball.
Nice clear up the middle.
Number 7 for Summit. Now, Summit does have speed.
Yeah, they really do, Rob.
That's Katie Chamberlain, who's a midfielder and an 11th grader. If you actually look at the Summit team, they're a fairly young team. They've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors, but primarily they're playing a 10th, 11th grade squad out there this year.
Yeah. Well, I was here for the last 10 minutes of the another goal by Sydney Black on a foul.
On a free shot.
Free shot.
And we're still down a player.
Yeah, that's 2 goals now since that time-serving penalty. I was going to say, I was here earlier for the JV game, which the Indian Hill girls ran the score pretty good on the Summit JV, but Summit has a full JV team for the girls. The boys don't have a JV squad. They don't have enough boys that come out for lacrosse to be able to put a JV squad together, and they really never have. Which I'm a little bit surprised. It's with the program that Summit's had for the past decade, really, you would think that they'd have more interest in more boys playing lacrosse, but they're going to wear those whistles out tonight, aren't they?
Summit feeds it in. Recovered by the Braves, number 22. Lexi McGonahan.
Oh, bit of an errant pass. Ellie Rabino's racing to get it. And another flag, another whistle, another whistle. Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness. There's a third time-serving penalty on Indian Hill. Oh, now she's offering to give her
So Braves are now down 2 players. Great defensive play by
Cameron.
And so the first penalty is definitely over 2 minutes.
Yep, it is now. No, it is. 2 minutes. Here she comes. Must have been a 2-minute penalty. They don't release it until the ball's live, Rob. So that first one was a 2-minute penalty. Now another goal. We're going to be 12-6 here with 1:40 left in the first half.
So one of the hard things for people that watch men's lacrosse versus women's lacrosse, the women's game is much more technical and much more a finesse game, where the boys' game is, technical, but there's a lot of physicality in the book. Where these girls are getting called for what in a boys' game would be, just a nice little body check. They're getting called for too much contact.
Yeah.
For a lack of a better, I don't know what the actual description is.
I'm not sure either. I've watched in the past couple of years. I've watched quite a bit of girls' college lacrosse, and I will tell you,
they play a little more physical.
That's a little bit more physical.
It is.
And you would not have heard anywhere near as many whistles as you've heard tonight so far. There's a lot more physicality in the college game.
And I'm fascinated with the draw because, like you said earlier, unlike the boys' game where it's done on the ground, it's done in the air. The ball's pinched between the 2 opposing teams' sticks, another whistle. And I'm just trying to fill up airspace with all these whistles. But what fascinates me is the differences in the boys' game. You have to take the face-off right-handed. There is no left-handed face-off, guys.
Correct.
They're all right-handed. It's not a rule. There's no written rule about it, but everybody plays face-off right-handed, so you never see a left-handed dominant player at the face-off. Where in the girls' game, they can face off backwards, they can face off forwards, they can be on the left side, they can be on the right side. There's a lot of moving pieces to that draw, as they call it, in the draw circle.
Timeout.
And what you'll notice in a timeout situation, unlike the boys' game.
Oh, not a timeout. They were just kidding.
Never mind, everybody.
They drop their sticks
Yes.
right where they were standing, and they have to start exactly where they were during the timeout. Unlike the boys' game, you call a timeout, you bring the guys over. The ball starts back at the spot of the timeout where the ball was positioned.
Okay, there's the ball got knocked loose, picked up by the goalie. Steps out of the back.
And that clear is picked up. And we're going to go down another player.
Yeah, we are. That's Wesley Elspaugh.
I think she waved it off.
Did she?
It appears because Wesley's not going towards
No, she's not.
the penalty box. But Ellie's going to finish the half in the penalty box.
It looks like it, which means she's probably going to start the second half in the penalty box because I doubt if it was exactly 2 minutes when she went in.
Well, her penalty was before the 2:12 mark.
So maybe it's a 3-minute penalty, or maybe it's right down to the wire here. Let's see. Let's watch and see if she was about 2:12. Then she's got about 20 seconds, 25 seconds.
Reagan Wentz turns black away from the goal.
Nice defense on Reagan's part to steer her back out.
I like how she's getting big, taking up space, taking out the passing lanes. And that's really what this girls' defense is really about, is taking away their passing lanes, taking away their shooting space.
Oh, nice. Ball. Oh, that's not going to.
Wentz called with the check.
Save.
Ellie with a save. Maria with a save. And that'll end the half here. The Braves are down 13-6.
Ellie was back on the field, though, so her penalty
was
time expired, and it was a 2-minute penalty. So, all right, so here we are at half, Rob. It's 13-6. What do you think needs to happen for Indian Hill to get back in this game?
Clean lacrosse.
I think
and
so.
I don't know how. I don't know.
I think it might be more than that. I think it might be less physical lacrosse, because I don't think I've seen dirty lacrosse.
Just less, but it's penalties.
I think they need to find a way to adjust their game to what the officials are allowing and what they're calling.
Right, which I didn't mean they were playing dirty.
Right.
But they have had. If it was basketball and you were counting the number of fouls to number of fouls, it was disproportionately against Indian Hill. I can't even tell you the number. We played a good 6, maybe 8 minutes, a player down, and part of it, 2 players down. So the Braves have got to come out and play a little more disciplined defense and more technical defense and not so physical. Obviously, keeping Ellie on the field and moving that ball around and getting good shots. We had a couple shots that were on cage that the goalie made great saves. We just got to keep shooting. I think our shot, our shot selection was decent. We had a couple missed opportunities.
There were a couple missed shots, and there were a couple of really nice saves by someone's goalie. So,
but all in all, I think the Braves are right in this game. It's like you said earlier, a game of runs, and I think we'll be fine. It's 6-13. Like I said, I watched a college game that a team was down 10-0 after one quarter, and they literally went on a 12-1 run to take the lead, and then back and forth they went tied lead, and they ended up winning the game 17-16. So it's possible. We're going to take a short intermission break here, about 3 minutes. If you need to take a nature break and a fridge break, we'll be right back. I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland here at Tomahawk Stadium, bringing you the Lady Braves against the Lady Knights.
Be back for the second half.
Coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network is a presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department. The Video Department provides the community with educational and school-focused programming through the facilities of the ICRC.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back, folks, to Tomahawk Stadium for the second half of the Braves versus the Knights ladies lacrosse match. The Braves are down 6-13. A slew of penalties and a rare occurrence we said the first time it happened, a player in a penalty box in a girls' game. Lots of fouls.
How many? Do we have 3 or 4?
We ended up with 3 in the penalty box.
Was it?
Maybe it was 4.
I think it was 4. We had 2 in there at one time.
And I can't remember.
I think it was 4 total, Rob. 2 of them kind of overlapped a little bit.
So Ellie Ravenel back at the draw for the Braves. You've got Jory Alf on this near side, and it looks like on the far, Jory Alf controls the draw. Passes it off to Cameron Ravenel.
She's
Younger
going down
sister.
to Allie. Going down to Allie and coming back out to Ellie. Ellie's going to take it down the alley herself.
Ellie looking to dish it inside.
And she thinks better. She's going across the middle. Flip.
To Jory, who dodges, shoots,
Goal.
and score.
Very nice dodge by Jory.
With the goal.
That is how girls lacrosse is supposed to be played.
Yep, that was a very nice movement.
So 34 seconds into the half, the Braves bring it to 7-13. See if we can keep the momentum going.
I would like to think they had a heart-to-heart discussion on the sidelines about how they need to play the game. Oh, there's Patrick Ferris coming in. That big tall guy there, the long hair.
I can't see past the big tall guy down there. I'm looking for Patrick, but I can't see him
Pat
past.
Ferris talking about draw controls and face-offs. He went 16 for 18 last night against Fenwick. He's now, I think, 143 face-off wins away from being the all-time high school national leader in face-off wins, and he would take over for T.D. Erlin, who's
Wow.
a face-off guy who you probably have heard of.
I know who T.D. Erlin is.
Oh, a goal
Another
by Sydney Black right down the middle. She's a fireball,
Black
man.
with the
She's-
goal.
Well, again, it comes back to control here. Summit controlled the draw, got down the field quick. Braves controlled the first draw. Summit comes back, controls the second draw. So it's now a 7-14 game.
It's is Ellie's coming out. Ellie out for a breather, or that's unusual. They must want to talk some strategy. I can't imagine that they're benching Ellie for any other reason than to talk about something that she saw out there. That's exactly what they're doing, Rob. They're discussing something that they. What are they waiting for? They're certainly not waiting for the coach to talk with her player on the sideline, are they? Here we're going. Pops it
Reagan
up.
Wentz
Summit gets the face off, or the draw control.
And what you'll
Again,
notice,
speed. Summit's very fast.
well, and you were asking at the break, Mike, what does the Braves need to do to have success this half? They've got to slow Summit down.
Yes, that's a
I
good point.
And I think part of where they're getting themselves in trouble defensively is they're getting behind, or they're losing being in front of the player, and they go to make that extra step to try to get back, and they're getting called. Again, somebody's goggles just got knocked off.
I don't know what the call was.
That's number 22 for the Braves, who's a little shook up on the play. That is Lexi Magenheim, a senior. Official timeout. She's going to come off the field.
I didn't see what happened. There was definitely contact down there. Looked like some girl was dodging from X and was coming around the crease there.
It was on Summit because the Braves take possession of the ball.
Oh, they do? Okay. It must have been I don't know what they call that.
A control foul.
Okay.
That sounds good.
It
Well,
does.
that's what we're going to call it, a control foul.
Oh. It looked like a good pass up the middle.
My question, though, is Ellie serving a penalty?
I don't believe so. She's not in the. She's in the box, but she's standing up. So I think that they just took her out for.
But why wouldn't you bring her in?
I'm not sure if are they. Oh, shot over the top, but the Indian Hill will retain.
Well, you had a player come off for injury, and they sent in another player.
Yeah, but they sent in somebody for Ellie as well when she went off. So I don't think she's not serving a penalty. And she's in the penalty box, or she's in the substitution box. Oh,
Goal by the Braves.
Cameron Ravenel scores a goal coming across the middle. That was a nice little bounce shot.
And the great thing is, you should have seen Ellie. I know you were watching the cage.
I'm sure she
Ellie
was
jumps
excited.
up and down.
Yes.
Which you got to love that when a senior on the sideline, not only for her sister, but obviously for an underclassman, jumps up and down. So,
and here she's coming back in. But it doesn't look like she's going to the draw circle, so she's not going to take the draw. I guess the reality is she hasn't been overly successful.
No, she
Some's
hasn't
been winning the draws, so.
Well, I think that's let Reagan take the draw. It'll be a ball up in the air, a ball down on the ground, and hopefully Ellie can win the ground ball.
Yeah, maybe that's
because
it.
maybe that's where
that's exactly what they just did.
So
Reagan
Braves
popped the ball up in the air.
Ellie to Cameron at the 10-meter.
Oh, she's getting in trouble there. She kicks it back out to her sister Ellie. Ellie's at the top.
I have to refresh my knowledge with the rules.
What's that?
Well, just the meter, is it 7 meters and 10 meters, right?
Yeah, I believe that's right. Oh, good feed to
Cameron,
but
who feeds it back out to Price.
Not working?
It looks like they might be letting them play a little more physical.
it does, doesn't it, Rob? Oh, that was an attempted feed by Maddie Miller that went over the intended target and right into the goalie's stick. Ellie hustling back on defense to try and stop this transition. Oh. I hope.
And again, this is what I'm referring to. Between Black and number 4 for Summit is
Anna Claire Bristow. She's
Bristow.
Also lightning fast. There's a better job of collapsing the defense on the free. There's a nice pass to the middle by
quickly
Summit.
the defense. So the defense has gone to a zone defense, and that's one way of taking speed out of the game.
Well, that's a good adjustment, and it does appear that Summit's struggling a little bit with their offense. We'll see if they can. I'm surprised I didn't hear a whistle there, Rob. Honestly, based on the first half, I would have thought that what had just happened there would have justified the stoppage, but they didn't. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're letting them go a little bit more the second half. There's Yamaguchi out there playing as big as she can. There's a
whistle on Wentz.
I think it was on Ellie. Actually, Ellie's the one that's behind.
There you go, yep.
This is Black to the goal. Goal.
It's a 15-8 game.
Hard to stop.
So here in the second half, as the Braves and the Knights trade goals back and forth. Again, just like the boys' game, it is a possession game. Girls controlled the draw, got it down in their offensive end, had an errant pass. Right idea, feeding it inside, just to win a little high, and the goalie was able to pick it out of the air. And it looks like another adjustment that the Braves coaching staff has done is they've brought Wentz into the draw circle, letting her take the draw, and having Ellie try to control.
Yeah, Ellie and Jory, all three of our committed players around the circle, popped up.
This time it's controlled by.
She's a really good player. Dodging, spins around. This is not a good strategy. at least by Indian Hill. It is a good strategy for Summit to keep driving to the middle till they commit the foul, because that's how they're scoring. Now,
Nice save.
A kick save.
Saved by Maria Lindberg.
Another Brave goes down. It's Reagan Wentz.
I didn't see what happened, did you?
I was not. I was watching away from.
Oh, she's got a little brace on her knee. She's limping, like maybe she tweaked her knee or something. But I didn't see what happened. If it was a non-contact thing or if she just got in a scrum down there around the goal.
You got to find somebody who isn't too shy to move.
So Wentz is going to go to the sideline, and in for Wentz is going to be number 7.
That's Anna Mayu. That's Henry's
little sister.
Also number 7. Okay, they're still in their zone defense, Rob. Looks like they just ran right through the zone that time.
But the backside of that zone collapses in and forces them back out.
So he just dodges right through everybody and pops a goal in. But, Sydney
It's
Black
Black.
is quite the player.
Goal, Sydney Black.
And that's got to be at least her 7th goal.
Has to be. She's had.
She's controlling the draw all night.
She seems to be the one carrying the ball in the middle and getting the fouls. So she's also held a large number of the free shots. What do they call it? Free possession?
It's a free shot
Free shot?
and a free start, I think.
And now they got Ellie back at the X. Or back at the.
Because Wentz is still on the sideline getting seen by Terry Conti, the athletic trainer, brought to you by Beacon Orthopedic.
Okay, Jory Elf comes up with the draw control. Kicks it back over to Ellie. Takes it down the middle. Scores.
Score.
Goal, Braves, Ellie Ravenel.
I mean, if you look at the difference between Ellie and Black, those are the two dominant players on each side of the field here. You know, Black is quick and slippery and gets in close and takes. Ellie just has power to her shot. I've argued for the last 2 years that Ellie could probably play men's lacrosse if she wanted to.
I think she probably could. She has a good hard shot. She has the stick skills. And remember, the girl's stick is vastly different than the boys' sticks.
Think if she had a pocket.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when the boys were young, at the end of the middle school season, we always had a boys-girls game, and you'd switch sticks, and the girls always won. Because the boys can't control the ball. Now, the girls' sticks are getting better. The technology has improved like it is in everything, but here's Jory with another control off of the draw.
Again, it's a 7-point game here. The Braves have plenty of time. There's 18:45 left in this match. Off to Rabinold Little.
Rabinold Little.
Rabinold Senior to Alf.
I like the ball movement.
Just trying to weave in.
Oh, good pass to. Oh,
Just a little
coming
high,
up with it.
Little high, so she brought it back out.
Yep, that was smart. She could have tried to force that. And
that's Mayhew back out to Rabinold. Rabinold's just going to take it herself here. It's a save. But the Braves retain possession.
So Bridget Schumacher out on the wing with the ball. Kicks it out to Cameron Rabinold. Out top to Jory Elf. Whoa, what was that?
I think they just blew it to make sure everyone's okay. No penalties.
Huh.
No foul. It'll be Braves ball.
Okay, so Jory starts at the top of the ball over to Cameron.
So over to number 15.
That's
Bridget Schumacher. We'll get these names down by the end of the game. Alf cutting across crease. Back out. Switching places with Rabinal. Schumacher with the ball. Schumacher looking for the dodge, gets it quickly to Little Rabinal.
Tell you what, Summit's defense is very, very strong inside. They don't, they're not letting them go through the middle.
Jory's going
Jory.
to, she's picked up by Black. Schumacher. I'm sorry, that's Mayhew.
7 was Mayhew. That's Schumacher with the ball now, 15.
That was Maddie Miller, 18.
Maddie Miller, 18, right. Schumacher across the face of the goal.
Back to Miller behind goal.
It's kind of this might be the longest offensive possession we've seen by either team, Rob.
16 minutes left here in the half and game.
Okay. Ellie's going back behind the cage.
Pass goal line extended. She quickly dodges in. Just powers her way past. Shot a little off mark.
Errant shot, but there's a
backed up by Jory Elf.
There's a whistle. Oh no, it was just possession.
Schumacher in the wing. It's going to be a free shot for the Braves.
So Schumacher will get a free shot.
Great new shot by our camera crew here. A goal line extended camera.
Schumacher comes in. Oh, she spins it back out. Kicks it back to Ellie. Ellie goes down the middle and is going to draw another foul. It looked like in the sphere. At least that's what the pantomime of the official would
This
tell
will be
me.
another free shot, this time for Rabinal, which usually is a guarantee
I would
of a
sure
goal.
think this would be a shot.
Oh, off
Hits
the pipe.
Hits the pipe. Ellie comes back up with it, though. Feeds down below to Jory, and Jory pops it in. What a beautiful feed, Rob.
Let's see if we can get a replay of that. That was great lacrosse by Rabinal and Alf.
And Alf to pop open like that. They have a very good connection.
So we're going to get to see this shot replayed, and you'll get to see the great new camera angle. We've got a goal line extended camera. That was great camera work by our booth that was able to pick up the pass out to Rabinal and went wide on the shots. You're going to see Ellie
gets the ball out top after her shot off the pipe.
Gets it to Alf.
Hits Alf, pops it in. That was just gorgeous.
That's ESPN material, folks. You know, just so if you're watching this game live or watching it in replay mode, this game is brought to you by the IHTN Sports Network on IHTN1, a YouTube channel. We've had people all the way from China watching these games.
Okay, Indian Hill's going to get the ball here, and they're going fast break. Jory Elf up the middle.
And it is one of the most awarded television programming in community television in the tri-state area. I think 2 years ago they won like 20 awards, Mike.
Oh, we've got a yellow card here, Rob. Is that going to be a time-serving penalty for Summit?
It looks like it. No?
They pulled out the card. I thought that's what that meant, but apparently not. No, it's just
Is that going to be Maddie Miller?
Maddie Miller's going to have the free.
So Maddie Miller at the 7 meter. You got Cameron Ravenel off to the side. They're going to start it over.
I think the girl behind the 10 meter started too early, maybe.
Maddie Miller in and off mark.
Well, I tell you what, Rob, we're
Not doing so.
we're not doing ourselves any favors on our
free
shot
shots.
percentage.
No. So that'll go down as a turnover by the Braves as Summit brings that ball back up, and here's another speed demon for the Knights.
It's, Schumacher got her stick in there, knocked the ball loose, but caught just enough of the Summit player to.
That's Katie Chamberlain, Matt Chamberlain's daughter. Great stick block by number McGonahan. Lexi did a great job of knocking that ball out of the air. So Summit Ellie on the ball.
Sydney Black. She's very, very quick and shifty. Oh, boy.
That's going to be.
Yep, there's a card.
That's going to be on Wesley.
Wes Alspaugh's going to head into the sideline.
So I'm not sure when the card puts a player
I don't either.
in the box.
I don't either, Rob. Apparently when it's on an Indian Hill player.
Well, I know that they carry a tablet, and I think sometimes they're just pulling that out and writing down what the call is.
I just, down here, I could have sworn I saw them do that same move with the card and held it up, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were just waving the flag or.
Another free shot.
But they don't throw flags like they do in the boys. There's another goal. So
we're
17
back
to 10.
Another 7-point game. So that's another player down that the Braves have had to bear, and I'm going to guess that 13 of those 17 points have been scored on
I think that's
player down.
I don't think that's an exaggeration, Rob.
So you're going to see here a replay of this, what they call a free shot. You'll see the Summit player at 7 meters goes straight in. There's not a whole lot the Braves can do.
Bounces
Great
in,
bounce.
That's a hard shot to stop for a goalie.
Yeah, I mean, you're point blank. It's a bounce shot off stick. And if you ask any goalie, what
Sydney
shot
Black
they hate
again.
seeing is low off stick.
Oh, nice feed and a goal.
Another goal by Summit.
That was the nicest offensive play that I've seen from Summit
Chamberlain.
tonight. That was a really nice play. That was a feed from Sydney Black to one of her teammates down
To
near the
Chamberlain.
crease and caught the ball and turned and shot and scored. That was very well executed scoring play.
So a little over halfway through this second half, the Braves are down 10-18.
Now let's watch that again, Rob. I think that
We'll
was.
see this. We'll see this great lacrosse play. So you'll see Sydney
here
Black
comes
on the
Sydney
left
coming in from the wing,
side,
cuts across to the middle.
cuts it and passes it off to Chamberlain, who just does a nice stick fade.
Very nice.
And again goes off stick low.
Up high. Ellie knocks it forward, comes up with the ball.
Ravenel with the ball. Ravenel into
Goal.
goal. That one, I believe, bounced off the goalie's head.
Did it?
I believe it did. If we can get a replay in really slow motion, I think you'll see this ball bounce off the goalie's head.
If we have that from the new angle, that would be a great angle to watch it from. That's
so Ravenel with a great dodge.
Ellie coming down the middle. Gets her stick up high.
No,
it was
just right over top. It looked like it.
Yep, that was.
So great dodge by Allie Ravenel to bring this back to a 7-point game, 11-18.
Timeout. Now, Rob, I meant to ask this before when they thought they were taking a timeout, but then they didn't. They all dropped their sticks, so they have to be back at the same spot. Does that also mean that you're not allowed to do any substitutions during timeout?
Correct.
You have to come back on the field with the same personnel that left the field.
Correct.
Okay.
George Mayhew in the house.
You don't see
11 minutes left
the substituting on the girls' game like you do on the boys' game either. That's another big difference.
It's like soccer. It's dead ball, and that's it.
Okay.
So, and you'll notice that some of the players drop their stick because they're so used to doing it. Some of them carry it off. When it's a dead ball timeout, you don't have to drop your stick.
You don't. Okay. Well, it used to be when you scored a goal in college. I believe they still do this. You score a goal, you drop your stick. The shooter does. Just the shooter.
I believe you're
Score,
right.
drop the stick because it's an automatic stick check or something of that nature. They come in and look at the stick immediately. But I see it in the college level, and I haven't seen it tonight, obviously. They don't do it at high school level. But I always thought that was peculiar. Every time a goal is scored in college, the girl immediately just drops her stick to the ground.
Yeah, for guys like you and I that are old, have been around the lacrosse game for a while, but always on the boys' side. The girls' game takes a little bit of time to get used to. But I will tell you, if you can watch, the Braves, when they won the state championship, that was just a loaded team. Ellie Ravenel was part of that. Wentz was part of that. A lot of these players were a part of it, but they had a senior class that just added a different dimension to this team. And when you watch them play at that, in that tournament, when this game flows and the whistle doesn't blow a lot, it is a beautiful act of athleticism.
It is, and if you watch the college game at a high level, it really is a fun game to watch. It's very fast paced. It's considerably more physical. They still have different rules than the boys, but you can see that it's the same. It's the same sport. It's the same game.
Yeah. And it's not as physical as the men's
college
game.
No, it's
but
not. But
a little more physical.
There's a lot more bodying up. There's a lot more checks. And it might just be that when you get to the next level, you control your stick more, and it's basically safer because you're not getting in that sphere.
Well, and speaking, we've talked about the sphere. When you watch the guys' game, the guys will have their stick off to the side, cradling it. We try to teach them at the younger age. You cradle ear to nose. The girls, if you watch the girls' high school game, when they're running with that ball and they're cradling it, that stick is real close to their face.
Oh, another nice feed. There's a whistle.
And the reason for that is because as long as that stick is close to their face, it's inside that sphere.
Right.
You can't stick check it.
Exactly.
And in the girls' game 3 years ago added stick checking, but it's got to be below the waist. And I think that's the call that the Indian Hill boys were a little frustrated with. That Ellie got called and got her penalty on was she did a stick check. It was
another goal by Sydney Black on a free shot.
She did a stick check. The fans felt it was below the waist, which would be a legal stick check. The officiating saw it differently, called it above the waist, and it is a penalty.
Yep.
So those are some of the nuances. That girls do have stick checking, but it's very, very limited.
Very limited.
They do have a little bit of. I won't call it body checking. I'll call it body touching.
Yeah.
you know, they're allowed to kind of come in and push the player a little bit, but it's got to be fist on shoulder. It can't be with a free arm and all those type of things, just like the boys' game. But, you know, and for those of you that don't know, Mike and I are on television. This is not a radio broadcast, but I still, when I'm demonstrating, I'm still hitting Mike up here all the time.
That's okay.
Oh, nice save by Lindbergh.
Cindy Black over the top of the cage. It is backed up by Summit, so they'll retain possession. They bring it back in behind the cage.
And I believe we're playing. Are we playing down a player?
There's nobody in the box. Oh, yes, there is somebody standing over there.
That's Wesley still out.
Wesley's still out. That must have been a big one because that was quite a while ago, Rob. Cindy Black and another goal.
That was
She's
a
hard to
rocket.
stop.
That was
She's
a
hard to
quick,
stop.
you know, in the boys' game, we'd call that the Canadian quick stick shot. Rifled it over Maria's right shoulder, actually her left shoulder. So off stick high.
A nice dodge down the middle.
Takes it to a 9-point game. With a little over 10 minutes left, the Braves are still playing down a player. Our next girls broadcast
Who's at the draw control for Indian Hill this time, Rob? That's not Ellie, and obviously it's not Reagan. Oh, it's Maddie Miller.
Maddie Miller.
And here comes the
comes
speed
Black.
demon again, up the middle.
So the next girls,
Another right to left split dodge.
the next girls game that we will be broadcasting will be next Thursday, where the Indian Hill Lady Braves will be taking on the Women Warriors of Marymount. We obviously have the boys game on Monday against Loveland, and then on Friday night. So we've got a triple header next week for you. Boys on Monday, girls on Thursday, and then the boys on Friday night against the Men Warriors of Marymount, which should be a great matchup. Marymount will be coming off their loss to St. X last night in a game that was fairly close for the first 3 quarters.
I prior to that game, I predicted that Marymount was going to win that game this year. Stick check from behind. Ellie will retain possession and bring it back out to the top.
Nope, it's Summit.
Oh, my God. You're right. It went to Summit.
Schumacher picks her up. Schumacher gets whistled. It'll go back to the Knights with a free start.
Ball's on the ground, picked up briefly by Indian Hill and knocked away. That's going back to Indian Hill. This is going to Ellie. Oh, no, it's not.
And we are
going to
still playing a player down.
And here goes Ellie. This is they got numbers, Rob. 3-on-1.
To Alf.
Feed up to Jory. A
Throws it
save
right
by the
into her
goalie.
stick.
Holy cow. Ellie picks it up. And this is going to be a free shot for Ellie. This will probably be a goal. But we've said that before, and then she was stopped. So we haven't been as efficient on our free shots as Summit certainly has. They seem virtually unstoppable when they get that free shot from the 7-meter.
We needed Jory to do a Canadian egg roll in that situation.
Okay, here goes Ellie. Goal.
Scored.
Okay.
So we're back to an 8-point game. 7:36. The Braves have plenty of time to come back here, Mike.
There is, but they need to
get
improve
momentum.
what they've been doing. Here comes a replay from Ellie's free shot goal.
As we get this
And if
replay
you'll
up.
notice, Rob, this is almost unstoppable. It's a bounce shot it's hard for the goalie. I mean, it bounces right up into the upper corner of the goal.
Boys baseball team was in the stadium watching the game after their game earlier tonight. Other thing that we got to see on spring break down in Florida was the Indian Hill Braves were in Florida at Dodgertown, Mike.
Really?
Playing 5 days of baseball.
Nice.
And we went over one night and got to see the...
Oh, here Ellie just steals the ball, and she's going down. She's all alone, 1-on-4, feeds it back to her sister Cameron. It goes to the middle. Summit's defense has been really, really strong. They collapse on our Dodgers. Here comes Sydney Black up the side.
And I like the tenacity of Cameron there. She stuck with Black, got whistled for the foul. Black will get the free start here, but she slowed the momentum down. And sometimes I would argue that getting a foul call.
Well, in that case, it didn't hurt.
No.
It stopped their transition.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That was, in my opinion, that would be a good foul.
Yeah, that didn't. And it was a foul. She definitely bumped her from behind.
Yeah.
So. Looks like they're just taking the air out of it right now. They're just holding the ball. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left. They're just burning some clock, Rob. Which, again, that's one of the things you can do in the girls' game that you can't necessarily do in the boys' game. Oh, that's Reagan back in the game.
Back in the game.
Giving a little bit of love to Sydney Black out on top.
So the Braves' next game after this
is good defense by Schumacher.
Is that Marymount game on Thursday. They don't have another game until Thursday. So plenty of time to evaluate, assess, and recalibrate what they're going to be doing, because the Marymount game will be a game like this. It'll be against a good, talented Marymount team that won the state championship last year. So you got the two Division II state champions, the reigning state champions and the former state champions meeting next Thursday here on IHTN Sports.
That's good. That would be it's got to be a big game if you get the two state champions. We have a little bit later in the year, we'll have the same thing on the boys' side. St. X and Moeller will be playing each other. They're the two state champions from the last 2 years as well. That's always a big game.
You know, Mike, it was a sad week in lacrosse, though. The MLL pulled the plug on 3 teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. We haven't.
I
think I know, but
I actually talked to the coach for the launch after that was announced.
Yeah.
And the 3 teams that they pulled the plug on were league-owned teams.
Right. No, that was their big thing. They're going to a one-owner philosophy. We must have a singular group ownership in a team, and the
you can only own one.
There's another flag, another whistle.
That's going to be on Schumacher. And the Summit fans are not liking the physicality of Schumacher, but oh well.
That's kind of comes with the. You got a player like Sydney Black. She's going to get her share of attention this year, I would think. People are going to.
Reagan Wentz covering her nicely. Takes.
Reagan looks like she's recovered fully from whatever it was that was ailing her. I'm glad to see that it wasn't She's very aggressive.
Great
Good
slides.
Still at it, though.
Nice.
Okay. Spin around shot. Those went wide. But Summit will retain possession from behind. So we're under 3 minutes now, Rob, and I don't know if I think Summit wouldn't be wrong just to kind of move this ball around and hold it and burn some clock. But nope, Sydney Black's going to the goal. And there's a penalty or a foul, and there's that big animated slash. So that's going to be a time-serving penalty, which I believe is our 5th of the game.
At least the 4th, if not the 5th.
At least the 4th.
No, it's at least the 5th, maybe the 6th.
Oh, you're right.
This is the 3rd of the half, so it's either the 6th or it's
right.
the 7th. So I'm going to quickly go through
another goal by Sydney Black. She's got to have nearly 10, I would guess, of their 21.
Yeah.
I didn't see the goal, but I think it was Sydney.
I'm going to
Black.
go.
Quite a performance.
I'm going to give some shout-outs here to people that support Indian Hill lacrosse and sports and arts. Our sponsors for Tomahawk Stadium are Bob Summerall, AAA Tire and Service, Dial One Security, Clee Camp, Weiler Automotive, National Heating and Air Conditioning, Grass Corps for all your lawn care, Mid-American Pools, and our sports trainers and athletic trainers and medical services here at Tomahawk Stadium are brought to you by Beacon Orthopedic and the Christ Hospital and Timothy Krimchek. You know it's funny? One of our sponsors, Dial One Security.
Yeah.
Guess who our security keeper is in Cage? The daughter of Dial One Security.
Okay. Well, it's an appropriate place for her to be.
Absolutely.
Securing. Schumacher rolls around. He's going to get a free shot.
And it looks like Wentz is probably sitting out the rest of the game because she's over there lounging like she's back on the beach.
Yep, she does.
There's 2:12 left in this game. It's a 21-12 game. Mike, the Lady Braves are coming away with a disappointing loss. They've got a big game next Thursday. Plenty of time to fine-tune this machine. They definitely have the talent.
Nice goal from Schumacher.
And I would agree with you that early in this game.
Let's watch this replay from the goal line extended angle, which is a great camera angle, Rob. Shows the perspective that we don't always see. She comes down. A little bit of a. Just goes right over the top of the goalie. Very nice goal. Here's Ellie Rabinold back at the draw control circle.
But if you think about this second half has been a very even game. We were down by 7 at half. We're down by 8 now. Couple issues have come up. Obviously, when you play down a player for 10-plus minutes, that gives a huge advantage to the other team. And when you've got a player like Sydney Black and Chamberlain with speed.
Oh, boy. I was going to say a very nice defensive takeaway, but the official saw it otherwise. Be another free shot for Sydney Black, which probably means another goal. Oh, she flips it behind her back.
Rabinold fighting for that ground ball.
And they call her for it. Chamberlain girl with it now?
I believe so. The one thing I'll always say about Ellie is she never gives up. There's only a minute 20 left. She's going to
play for a minute 23.
Exactly. She's been a fun athlete to watch. We hope her great success at MIT. We'll talk more about that as the season goes, I'm sure.
Another goal. That was a nice wraparound goal.
It makes it 22-13.
Goal by Maddie Beautiful.
Well, that's a Hudipole that scored that.
It is. That's why I was looking that up. Maggie Hudipole. He's a sophomore.
I wonder if she's any relationship to the famous Hudipole swimmer out of Cincinnati who has several Olympic gold medals.
Oh, nice pickup by Ellie off the draw control. One-handed snag. Feed to the middle. Oh, just got knocked down as it got to the middle.
We're under a minute here to play as the Knights bring that ball up the field. Ravenhold chase. I'm sorry, that's Schumacher chasing down.
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain with the ball.
I think they're just running the clock out now, Rob.
10 seconds to go. Well, this will go in the record book as a loss for the Braves, 22-13 for Summit. And I don't think this is the typical Indian Hill team that we're going to see all season.
Yeah, I hope not. And I don't know if Summit's, they haven't lost yet, so maybe Summit's really strong. But I saw some really good things from them. I saw a lot of speed.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously know how to score, and maybe they just know how to draw fouls.
I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. We brought you tonight's action here at Tomahawk Stadium. We will see you on Monday night for the boys game. Hey, if you're in town and you want to see a great Friday night game, it's supposed to be gorgeous weather Friday night here at Tomahawk Stadium. The Braves will be taking on the Turpin Trojans, looking for their third win of the season as we storm towards June 1st.
Yeah, we're calling them the Red Tide this year. The Red Tide's coming in. So it should be an exciting season, and we hope to have everybody back for all of our broadcast games, and come on out and watch them.
I'm gonna sign us out here tonight. Let's get those credits rolling. A big thanks out to Mr. Dupps and the entire Indian Hill Television Network crew, all volunteer students and parents that bring you this action. Mike and I are privileged to bring you the announcements. We do our best on these girls' game. We'll get better as the season goes, I'm sure. Again, our next televised game will be Monday night against the boys take on the Turpin Trojans. Again, tonight's crew, the executive producer is Dennis Dupps. Anton Steffens is the producer and director. Steve Overberg, technical director. Owen Norrell doing the replays. Michael Overberg, graphics. Your camera operators, Will Church, Joey Allspeck, Mark Bennett, Katie Overberg, and I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. Good night, folks. Be brave, be proud. We'll see you Friday night here at Tomahawk Stadium. Over and out.